I'm so happy to be here. I'm so honored to be asked to be here to talk about my story, because I never imagined I would be the motivational speaker that I am now today. Actually, on my drive over today, I was talking to myself, and in my mind I was thinking, wow, Emily, you're doing things I never imagined you could have done. And I was just like, why did I say that? Because when I was growing up, I didn't believe in me. I didn't know how to be confident in me. And why, I think part of it was also, I grew up with perfectionism. And I think in the Asian culture, a lot of all the kids are taught to compete with each other and get those straight A's. Let me back up a little bit. So I'm one of 3 children. I was born in El Dorado, Arkansas, and moved over to Southern California in the San Gabriel Valley after first grade. And one of the things that was really traumatizing for me was having to move from one location to another. Because when you lose something that is, you feel like you were all settled in one place, and then all of a sudden you move to a new place. You lose your friends, you don't know who your friends are. And growing up, my classmates they all wanted to talk about gossip, celebrities, but I'm like, I want to talk about the meaning of life. But there were not a lot of people to talk to. When I even took peer counseling in high school, I would confide in my teacher about all the things that were on my mind, and yet he never referred me to the school psychologist. And so there's still a lot of stigma associated with mental health. I hope that I can alleviate the stigma, because there's no shame. In July 2013, at an Asian American mental health legislative briefing, I came out and for the first time, and I said, I will not end my life because I have a story to share. The more we talk about mental health, the more we will alleviate the stigma. There is no shame. There is no shame. And although sometimes people think that if you get a diagnosis, that it's the death sentence and you'll be labeled forever, that's not true. Because I embody the green ribbon. I embody mental wellness. And just because I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety, that doesn't mean that will define me forever. Everyone, whether you've been diagnosed or not, you have your strengths, your weaknesses. Your strengths make you feel good about yourself. Your weaknesses make you feel not so good about yourself. But when you are ready to confront your fears and your weaknesses, they become stepping stones, opportunities for you to grow. For myself, after college, I had no idea what to do with my life. I think maybe some of you have been in that position before. Maybe your kids are in that position. They feel so lost because they don't know where the guidance is. They don't know where the mentorship is. And so one thing that I have written back in 2009 was a spoken word thing that I wrote up It's called We Are All Works in Progress. And so this is what I'd like to share with you. Know how to help yourself before you can truly help anyone else. Set an example for others if you know how. However, I know that this is a constant, lifelong learning process. So you don't have to be perfect because we are all works in progress. There are lessons to be learned in everything that we face from day to day. Without these lessons, we don't challenge ourselves to be better than who we already are. So work on being the best person you can be. See your true potential in life. Know that you don't have to make all the answers right now. It takes time to find the answers to life. So just chill and relax from time to time. Just take a moment to breathe and just be with yourself. Know that you were meant for success in this life. You can reach your highest potential if you just believe in it. Have confidence in yourself. I have confidence in you. So I wrote that in 2009. And actually, I wrote it to others, but I mostly wrote it to myself. Because I was my own worst enemy for such a long time. And once I confronted, my own worst enemy realized how incredibly bright and talented I am, I started to become and transform into my own best friend. And so healing is not, and going to therapy is not always about, oh, let's talk about what's wrong with you. No, we're going to talk about also what's right with you. It's a balance of your strengths and your weaknesses, and this is what I've had to learn for myself. And appreciating my weaknesses and using those as stepping stones to help me grow into a better person. After college, I hated doing interviews. I couldn't fake it until I make it. And so I had to confront my fears. And eventually, I did a beauty pageant. I made myself do it because I thought once I had the potential, I thought, I think I can do this. I didn't get queen or princess, that's okay, but I got Taiwan Goodwill ambassador. And then there was some drama with the pageant, and so I didn't want to represent it anymore. But what ended up happening was I went into the community and I said to myself, I don't need the crown on my head to have validation. I already have the invisible one on my head. And so this process of transformation has taken me a while. And a lot of it what has helped me is two quotes. I actually like a lot of positive affirmations, but Eleanor Roosevelt said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." And then I change Gandhi's quote a little bit and I say, "You can chain me, you can torture me, but you will not break my spirit." So I share those quotes because I want to tell people that you have more power in your mind than you really think. You can let other people make you feel crappy, or you can say, no, I do not consent. And so some of these things have helped me along in my journey, in my healing. And also, I faced stigma when I came out. I was interviewed by the World Journal Chinese newspaper, and they didn't tell me how they were going to name the article. The article was called, in Chinese, Victim of Perfectionist Parent Speaks Out. My God. I caused a lot of drama in my family, and it was hard to handle that. There was a lot of crying. Thank goodness my husband was there for me. And I finally got around to explaining to my parents that, you know what? I know you did the best you could, given what you grew up with. And without you, there would be no me. So regardless of what happened in the past, and even though little Emily didn't feel all the love that she needed when she was growing up, I still appreciate you, Mom and Dad, my family, my brothers, my sister. Thank you for being a part of my life. And I'm so glad that in some ways, I think Nelson Mandela had a quote. He said, if I was to live my life all over again, I would live it the same exact way. Why? Because things were meant to go that way. You're supposed to, I believe I was put through all those circumstances in order to become stronger today. And I recently said at the 2015 Woman of Achievement Award ceremony, I said, at a recent training that I went to, they asked, who is your shiro or hero? And I said, there's so many inspirational figures that I look up to. Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, all these humanitarians. But at the end of the day, who is my shiro? Myself. Because I had the power to take my own life, but I chose not to. Growing old is a privilege denied to many, so I will enjoy each and every day I am alive, because every day I am above ground is my birthday. And it is yours too. So I'll leave you with this. The green ribbon, the lime green ribbon, stands for mental health awareness. And the way that you can be the change you want to see in the world is by wearing those green ribbons to alleviate the stigma and tell people that there is no shame in having problems, because everybody has problems. And I often say the mental health movement is a love revolution, because we're trying to do away with the judgmentalism, the criticism, the elitism, and we're trying to promote love, compassion, acceptance. So be the change you want to see in the world. You can be a part of the mental health movement, and always know that with help, there is hope, and helplessness is not hopelessness. Thank you.